for exhibition. I got funded by an exhibition by the Hong Kong government.
Wow.
We wrote a grant, and grant was just asking how much, and not a lot. That's all I can say. But what? Since this is recorded, thank you, Hong Kong government. That's a lot of money. Thank you. No, that's a lot of money. We should,
the production and the transportation, or
it will cover some of my transportation. I mean, like, it will cover shipping, but honestly, everything is so expensive in Canada that I felt like, part of it I'll have to like pay out of pocket, and also like, I don't know. I need to figure this out because we haven't have the final number yet. Figure out. It's like I'm slowly figuring out the grant. Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna pick this up.
Hello.
Hi.
Sound is coming.
Yes, I can hear, I think.
No.
We can do Ausland. Hi, Anna.
Hi. Woo, look crazy.
Why?
It's early here.
Nice.
I think everybody met Major, not just.
I think there's some new faces. I remember Anna. I haven't met Ezra before, and I don't know that I've met Christine.
Yes.
My name is Major. Nice to meet you. I'm relatively new, I think, compared to everybody else. So
Yeah. So just for a small introduction about Major, is painter. You are into portraits, like very traditional portraits,
Like Renaissance.
olive oil.
yes,
And you have one of your painting in the Vatican.
yeah.
So very traditional. You cannot be more traditional. And yeah, you could be prehistoric painting. It could be more.
Naive art.
And then yesterday I told you about Christine, Gary Owner in
Boston.
and but it's
Non-profit.
It's a non-profit. Yeah.
They turned her gallery into a non-profit just a little year or two ago. So it's relatively new. And I did an interview with her earlier, a couple of months ago, on how does a non-profit art gallery work, how to work with one, this kind of subject. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me yet or no?
Yes.
Thank God. I was gonna have to go out and come back in otherwise.
No, it's nice. The headphone makes you look like a like a stock photo customer service.
Maybe I'll I have other ones I could put on that aren't quite so bulky, but I just grabbed these.
Yeah.
What is the plan on things to talk about today?
So the idea is to maybe do just a sumo talk and not talking about any subject, but maybe doing a round table and presenting, because everybody has
new projects,
a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe participate, tell our opinion about this or talk about that. So
just now, Tai and Isra, I think, went offline.
Yeah. But then we don't start with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say I have another call at 2, so I'm here from 1 to 2.
Yeah. So Anna, I see that your newsletter, your land has some new plans. Architects came, and also you're going to have an exhibition in the Hyde Park Gallery in Grossmont College.
Yeah.
You're going to move the mini course into indoor to make the exhibition.
So I've had a long 6 months of a lot of frustration, a lot of roadblocks, and but finally I woke up about 2 months ago realizing, oh my gosh, I need to change my way I'm doing this, because I'm not moving anywhere. And that was one of the things that I was going to throw out there about mentorship. Like, I feel like I mentor a lot of people who are below me or need my attention, but I always have to keep my mentors in sights and find new mentors, because I need people to help me. I need people who have better experience than I do and learn from them in all sorts of different ways. And so I started making calls into the politicians in my little town, and they gave me referrals. And I found this great architect who has a base in LA, but also up here where we are in the desert. And he turns out to be great. I reached out, I got recommendations. And so he's going to be my project manager, because I just cannot move this thing forward. And for a major, or anybody who doesn't know, I'm doing a social project of I'm making an artist design miniature golf course on public land. So it's a big project with hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake. And I am a nonprofit also. So I'm really excited about this. And then I also found a new engineer. So that's really good for me, because I had lost my old engineer. And you lose these people in the oddest ways. They just ghost you. And you don't know what happened. You know, like, I was working with you, I paid you, I didn't balk at your bills. I was, I thought we had a good relationship, and then they're just gone. And I had to have another mentor, who's a guy, reach out and find out, are you guys really not working with Mojave Land, my project, anymore? And they're like, nope. And he wouldn't tell me why. So I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, because my project's too small, because, it's just not interesting to them. So I don't know what happened, but anyway, so that's really exciting that I'm going to start moving forward again, even though it's going to cost me money, cost Mojave Land money to pay these people. It's going to be money well spent, because I cannot move it forward by myself. And then the other thing that I can totally control is I'm having an exhibition at, it's a community college art gallery, but it's a new gallery. It's very large and very high ceilinged. And we're going to reconstruct 6 holes inside the gallery. So a little miniature golf course will be playable in the gallery for the students and the public. And then on the walls of the gallery will be documentation about the project and the past of the project and the future of the project. And then I'll be doing a lecture on what is social practice and things like that. So yeah, that's exciting. Getting ready for that.
Cool.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
When you say you're doing this on public land, do you mean that in the sense of like this is a public art project, or do you mean that like this is land that belongs to the city and they have done an RFP and you have won the RFP?
What happened was, in 2020, I bought commercial property here in the desert. It's easy to do in the desert because property values are very low to buy raw land. And this was actually not totally raw land, but it was zoned correctly. I thought, okay, because I had this idea, I want to make a miniature golf course. And then I should have gone to the city planning first and said, hey, how's this property look for my project? And they would have told me, it's got this problem, that problem, this problem, lots of problems. That were just not overcome. That were going to have to be overcome with millions of dollars put into the property, which is not worth it. So I basically was stymied, but at that point I said, okay, I said, what can I use this land for if I can't make a miniature golf course? And they said, oh, that's open to the public. And then they said, well, you can use it as an art studio. I said, okay. And they had no idea what I think of as an art studio, which is not me painting a little tiny painting. So I started making my miniature golf course there by myself anyway, and then just inviting my friends. And the first time I opened to my friends, I had 5 holes. 2 years later, I had 13 holes, because what would happen was artists would come to my property and they'd be looking around and like, can I make a hole? And I'd say, yes, I will help you. I will help you make it playable. And what's your vision? And so, so the city kept noticing me and saying to me, Anna, be careful, be careful. You're skirting the line. You're pushing boundaries here. You're almost illegal. And then they made me get a temporary use permit a couple times. And then finally they attached too many conditions to it and I just couldn't do it. And I had to shut down. So I said, okay, I'm shutting down. What am I going to do? 2 weeks later, they came to me and said, we have this public land that was supposed to be a public park. We didn't get the funding for the public park. Do you want a 5-year lease for $1 a year? And I said, yes. So that's what happened. But then I had to go through all of the steps to get a conditional use permit and do everything through the correct, the correct way of the cities. And I actually also became involved in the city. So that helped a lot, you know, and I had these mentors.
You're rubber stamping yourself. Yes, that would.
It was, I couldn't do that, but you know, they saw, oh, look at how she volunteers all her time. I was on the Arts Commission, which is a volunteer committee. And, you know, you just learn so much. But then they saw, oh, I really do care about the city. This is not about my own enrichment, which is totally not. It's just my project. So yeah, that's what happened. So I'm trying.
Can I ask more questions? So Boston has, this is not like, oh, I could see this in Boston, but I'm just in the context of like public art is kind of like having a moment in Boston because of the Boston Public Art Triennial. And so there's been a lot of discussions around it, and especially thinking about how you had to kind of move all of your objects. Are you thinking about making this something where either there is a version or could be a version that is portable, so you could market this and travel it around as an exhibition?
Yes, and that's so that when I had my first iteration of Mojave Land, which I call Mojave Land 1.0, I realized I needed to get it off my land. I needed to be able to have portable holes. And so I did start developing them. And so I have a few of them that are easily packing up. In fact, I'm doing a free public event tonight at the public pool. So we're having a pool party for 200 kids for free. It's going to be a crazy thing. I gotta have my partner and people helping me, because I'm just like thinking, oh my God, balls going in the pool and things. And I have an axe throwing thing, which is really cool, and kids are going to love it, but you know, it's plastic. So yes, I had a portable Mojave Land, which I am moving around, and that's what's going to the gallery. So some of the holes are more portable than other holes, because some of them just it requires a huge truck to move stuff, and I don't have a huge truck. But yeah, that's part of it.
And is there like what's the thesis of it?
There's an artist out here called Noah Purifoy. He was a California artist who was involved with the Watts Towers, a very wonderful, also a social project, social justice artist. He's African-American, and he lived the last 20 years of his life in Joshua Tree. And he had an outdoor studio, 10 acres of an outdoor studio. When he passed away, and what he did, which is what the artists do out here, and I do it too, is You pick up trash in the desert and you use trash because it's so dry here that nothing rots. So metal and even wood and sometimes even plastic, you can reuse these things because it doesn't rot. And so his outdoor studio, it's an outdoor museum right now, and it's completely open to the public. I don't exactly know how they get around the non-ADA accessibility of it, because that's a problem for me. It's not fenced, but there's a whole foundation that manages this sculpture of it's like sculptures of toilets and sculptures of bed frames and all kinds of crazy things that he put together. And so my project is, what if you could play inside of Noah Purifoy? Because although it's a wonderful place, it's not for playing, and it's great for kids, but they can't do anything. And I'm concerned about children, especially in this rural place. There is nothing for them to do. And I want to be able to reach the children and then the parents too. And that's my thesis, is how can I help this community have access to art in which art exists only in little galleries. That's not for families, not for kids, not for the average person. So yeah, that's my thesis. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
I have a question.
I love it.
So the artist who makes the mini golf course with you, they donate their works to your foundation or organization, or they still own that piece, just loaned to you?
Most of it is specifically constructed for Mojave Land. So, but I do pay them. I pay a flat fee. It's not very much. I'll just tell you what it is. It's $2,000. And I do the construction. I lay out the course. I pay for all of that. If they need help buying some specific materials, I buy that stuff for them. That is, and then the piece belongs to Mojave Land. In actuality, the work, because the sun just is so brutal here, it doesn't last forever. In 5 years, it'll be broken down, especially if it's used. So then I will be going back to the artist and saying, hey, can we rebuild this? Here's another $2,000, help me. But most of the artists are very happy with donating their work. Some of the artists, we have an agreement that it's only a loan, and I still give that $2,000 as an honorarium. And then, you know, they can take the work back if they need to. And we're going to be redoing those contracts. But so far, my artists are, they just want to participate. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's useful to the society.
Well, public art.
Yeah, but many public are not useful.
Yeah, like a roundabout.
Yeah, it's
in
cool. I like
Southern
that.
Europe, we have roundabout art, which is every 400 meters, there's a roundabout where there's only 2 roads. So it's like intersection. But they put a roundabout, they built some art, and the artworks are made by like the cousin of the mayor or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in south of Europe is the measurement of corruption, is the number of roundabouts.
Art.
Oh, not art, numbers of roundabouts in a city.
Even though it's the safest type of intersection, it's still a measure of corruption. Do you guys want to do 20 minutes per artist, just so that everyone gets?
We could continue with you, Christine, now?
Oh, well, I was just thinking we have like 3 artists in here. We don't need to talk about me. I like asking other people questions.
You have a deadline.
Or you have to go in
Oh yeah, well, other people.
that's why.
I can give. I mean, I will tell people what I'm doing, and then you guys can ask me questions, and then we can just move on if you want. What the hell am I doing right now? We have a new show. We have a show that we just finished with Mariam Safaju, who won a 2025 Guggenheim Fellowship. That went really well. We managed to get, I would say, more curators in than we usually do. I've been really growing my curator network. That's been great. I have a curator who just finished at the ICA, who's finishing up her PhD at Bryn Mawr, who's asked me to bring an artist from Africa over to the US for the first time. So we're looking at how to potentially bring that exhibition either to Art Basel, Meridians, or to maybe the UN. And so that's been interesting looking at like how, like what are the exhibition proposals for the UN. And so I will tell you, like the UN does exhibitions. Mohammed Hafez, who I've worked with a couple of times, did a series in there. And we have the Safarani sisters who are local to Boston. They're also Iranian. So we have two Iranian people who had, or women even, one Iranian woman solo show, and then these Iranian twins who have shows in a row. So this is August/September. And they're very cool because—
Christine, you said the Iranian is African show? No, this is a show
no.
you did,
So that's
right?
like a potential thing for the future.
Oh, okay.
With the African woman, and whose name is escaping me. No, so the Iranian individuals, one of them, Mariam Safaju, is from West Virginia, but went to the School of Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. And so we got connected to her through that, and she proposed a solo show. So we just finished with that. And now we are installing the Safarani sisters, who live in the Boston area and work in Boston. I guess they live in Boston now. They moved since last time I saw them. And they are identical twins, originally from Iran, and live here now. And they paint together, and then they actually project video onto their paintings, so they all look like they move. It's really exceptional work. So they're collected by local museums, and then have won some film awards, I think, too. So excited to have them. August will still be quiet, though. August in Boston is quiet, so we'll have kind of more of a big stuff in September.
Cool.
That's super exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, fun stuff. We are the programming partners for the Affordable Art Fair as well in Boston. They're having their first iteration here in October. I honestly told them that they shouldn't do it. They're going around asking people if they should come to Boston, and I told them no. I don't think we have enough collectors here. I don't think that people are going to make enough money. Anyway,
there's affordable art in New York, right?
There's affordable art. I want to say London,
Hong
Kong, Singapore, because I've been to the one in Singapore. And then
also Amsterdam.
I think Houston or Dallas. I want to say they tried it in Seattle and it didn't work. They invest for 3 years, and if it doesn't work out, then they pull out.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at some of the posts about Seattle art last week, 2 weeks ago actually, and then the quality was.
Look, I've been to the one in New York, and the quality is questionable.
Yeah,
it's fair.
You mean affordable art fair in particular?
Not affordable. The one I mentioned.
Oh no,
Seattle art. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's another story entirely. Affordable art fair in New York.
Yeah, but yes to affordable art too. Like the one in Hong Kong was very questionable. Yeah.
Look, they got to fill their booths.
Yeah.
And they have like a booth quota, and they're going to fill them. And so yeah, I think it's quite variable. But we did a call for art for all Citgo signs. And so we have all Boston artists who have done all Citgo signs, interpretation of the Citgo sign, which is like, despite being an ad, is really that orange triangle on a white square is really iconic for Boston because you can see it from Fenway Park. It'll be cool. And we're also trying to find a good cause that we can send at least a percentage of the proceeds to kind of like counteract the free advertising that we're giving an oil company. And, we're just kind of going with the opportunities that we're being given.
That's awesome.
Affordable Art Fair, I didn't know they're going to Boston. They're from the flagship Ramsey fairs. I went to the parallel fair to Art Basel in Basel called Volta Art Fair. So Volta Art Fair.
Yeah, Volta is great.
Yeah, Volta is a part of the franchise of Ramsey Fairs, which runs Affordable Art Fair.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because
I did the check, and I was surprised too. So I told Greg, "It's like, did you know that?" And he's like, "No." Yeah,
because someone was telling me that like some people are like uncomfortable with the brand, right? Because of affordable art fair. But I'm like, that's like where the value is. I mean, the first time I went to it, I was like scandalized at how expensive everything was. I was like, everything will be under $500 because that was what I thought affordable was.
5,000.
No, and it's $5,000. And I was like, this is in Singapore. And I was like, oh, everything's so expensive. And but I really think that like all of our notions of what affordable is are different things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And we're gonna have some stuff that's like just a couple $100 too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
there's probably art fair that does set a price cap.
They
No,
do. I mean, this
not
one is
bad.
10,000, max 10,000. Your majority of your stuff is supposed to be 5,000, but still they cannot be open editions. It's like they have edition caps and they're really solid on like what they want you to have. But I think that some people are really turned off in terms of like cachet and quality by the name. They're like, oh, well, the work can't be very good, or like we're too good for the affordable art fair. And like in terms of what I do, it's like, yeah, I'd like to say that we're too good for the affordable art fair. But the thing is that I've always been anti-elitist. And so I'm like, I'm not going to say no to this. I'm not going to say no to 10,000 eyeballs. It's like more than twice the number of people who step into my gallery during a year, which is called a lot of strategic points into question for what we do, frankly.
Were the booth fees lower because the price cap was there? The booth fees are the same.
I think that they negotiate a bit on booth fees, but I think that in general, booth fees are around what you would expect for a fair of this caliber. And I'm seeing Mo going like this.
Yeah. So it's not affordable for the gallerists.
And that's one of the issues, right? Is like you can't go there and sell $100 pieces of art and expect to break even. You have to figure out like, what is this? Is it a marketing expense plus an opportunity to make money? Like, how are you going to make this work? Some people must, because they have galleries that follow them from around the world and just go fair to fair to fair and sell their wares.
Yeah, it's suitable for one kind of gallery for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's suitable for the type of gallery that does like purely kind of like pop art, I think.
Art, commercial.
People are so hungry. It's
eye
like
candy.
for the eye candy.
Yeah.
I mean, this piece behind me is not eye candy. This is done by Ibrahim Ali Salam, who's a local artist. And he did this with his son. So his son did all of the graffiti here. But I was going to say, if, you put like a freaking crown on, Basquiat crown on anything, and people are like, oh, I want it, right? And so it's like that type of work. It's like, spray paint something, put a crown on it, put like a lame skull on it, and people are like, how fast can I give you my money? So, Greg.
Yeah. First, hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
I'm sorry I'm late. I'm
Okay.
I'm out of town at a meeting with my husband and just got out of something.
I'm sorry also, I didn't see your email, Christine, about the David. And next time you don't ask me, you are in the team, so you can invite anyone you want. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then about when you were working with artists, the twins artists and the other curators, and is there the residency program still, or it's on pause?
So in terms of, we are still talking about we had a curator come to us for the curatorial someone who was like never curated and has come to us with her own collection from her house that she wants to exhibit, and wants to do kind of the curatorial incubator program, I think would be right for her. Now, look, I want to do things differently. I really don't think that like the gallery model is functional for anyone except for like the top 10% of galleries. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way for us to make money other than trying to find grants, which are fewer and further between in the US. Secretly, I'm kind of hoping she is the head of, what is her job? It's not like diversity and inclusion, but it's like head of people and inclusion at Wayfair. Wayfair is based in Boston. Do you guys know Wayfair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that the furniture company?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has like one of the top jobs at Wayfair. And or has carved out like a pretty significant role for herself there. And I'm like, think Wayfair is Wayfair going to sponsor this? Like, would Wayfair give
money?
Right. I don't necessarily think they would, but although she has used her house husband in photo shoots too, she was telling us. Very charismatic woman, very interesting kind of set of a collection of work. Just as an aside, she bought a Ghanaian artist about 10 years ago, $450 a piece in Ghana, then couldn't hold on to his work, was in touch with him. I'll buy some of your work soon. I'll buy some of your work soon. Victim of, price inflation, people flipping his pieces, reached out to him after she bought a new house and said, oh, I have space for your work. And he said, oh, talk to my collector or talk to my gallery in Beijing. Reaches out, the pieces are going. Now remember, $450 for $250,000 a piece. So she was like, guess I won't be buying any more of those. In any case, so interesting collection, may draw some people in. In terms of like the residency, winter or summer residency, I think we'll see. We're looking to kind of do more stuff outside the gallery now. So we're not going to necessarily bring people in. We want to see how much we can go to people. That's really what I'm thinking about. So Anna, thinking about, you and kind of like the portable nature of your work is some of what I was, why that was on my mind.
On a similar note, how's your residency doing, Greg and Mo? Like our residency is not filling this coming year. I think people are very scared. They're not making decisions. They don't want to travel. Our residency is not free, but it is very cheap. But we are not, for the very first time in 5 years, we're not filled.
Anna, send me the information on it. I'll pass it around.
Okay.
I know some people who like to do
desert
random things. Yeah, why not? I mean, who knows?
You rent it also in the summer? I mean, throughout the year?
No, summer we never rent it.
Yeah,
but I'm
because
talking about the coming fall and spring seasons. Usually by this time we're pretty set, and we've got, I think, 4 people.
I think the border thing, like there's news about, people getting detained. It's really affecting everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but even Americans, I think artists are very worried. I'm just, the economy is just so fragile right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree.
Yeah. So on our side, we are running it quite okay. We had
quite okay. She's on board.
Quite okay. Yeah, it works very well. And we have we just finished after Laura has come back. We had 2 more. So it was back to back. We didn't even take really a break. And we had quite a diverse profile, but 2 together, the photographer and photographer. So we had a bit of a handful of photographer coming, and it's a bit of an adjustment because it works different than painters. And usually when you assume an artist is coming, it's either watercolor or sketching or drawing or graffiti, and then suddenly 2 in a row photographers. So we have to really think the strategy differently for them, because with AI.
No, it was not the problem.
Well, there's another.
It's not a criticism, but they were into manifestation. So it's very difficult to have a rational conversation with someone who is wishful thinking.
What is manifestation?
Do you mean like, do you mean like manif, like in French, like when people there are demonstrations outside, or do you mean like
Italian, not revolution?
I learned from them.
I knew from the beginning. It's the book Secret. It's like,
oh, okay. So you mean that like they're essentially calling things to themselves.
The money will fall on me. Oh,
yeah.
Money falls on me. See, that works.
Okay. So they're like they're like manifesting things into their lives with their thoughts. I have manifested a lot of good things into my life.
Me too.
Yes.
Are they manifesting good things or bad things?
They're manifesting and not doing many things. That's the problem.
No, they were.
Oh,
They're like just
okay.
they're like just thinking about stuff and not making an
Oh,
effort.
okay.
Avoidance.
So
Say
it
that
was
again?
hard to coach them because they couldn't get specific tasks done. Maybe.
No, they don't want to do changes because they think manifesting is enough to change their life.
Why are they at your residency then? Do they just like
No, that's
manifest
why,
themselves
we have
into
to
the
change.
residency?
Yeah, we have to change for next year. We have to put
Because
some.
we didn't ask a question before. Do you manifest?
No, but they were not completely. They were
Are
not
you woo
completely.
woo or not? As someone who is totally woo woo and all those things, I still know the value of hard work. Let's just put it that way. You can be both.
Yeah, sure. But I mean that's
And they were both.
yeah.
You
my
need
problem
to
is
put on
more the avoidance. Like you asked me, what did I say? I said avoidance is people don't face their problem. They go how do you say the Austrias?
They
bird.
they procrastinate.
No, it's
These people need therapy. So it sounds like you
denial.
either need to be giving them therapy or you need to ask them how many years of therapy they have already had before they come.
They did not. That's the thing. And
Major, do you want to say something? You're looking like you want to say
Oh,
something.
no, just I'm really excited to meet you, and it's nice to kind of have your perspective on things, especially now. Like I didn't really know what to talk about coming here today, but there are some things that I've had that I like. There are some doors that are still open to me. I think that you might be able to kind of give me some advice on. As I've mentioned to Greg and Mo before, I'm very fortunate in that whatever it is, it's a joke in my family that we just like these like very influential people fall into our laps kind of, and then it's like I try to I guess so, yeah, but I then don't feel like that I know how to talk to these people to because I'm polite to a fault. Like I don't ever want to make people feel like I'm just like, give me money or like whatever,
I have the
but
same problem, honestly, the exact same problem. So tell me more. I mean, it seems like a silly problem to have, but I totally get it.
Well, it's just about, I think, especially for what I do being more niche, I need to be able to have access to the kind of people and like the networks that would, which I suppose is everybody, right? But
leveraging opportunity is really hard.
And so I'll just say the one main woman that I still have always tucked away. I haven't spoken to her a while, but my great aunt, who is like she just turned 93 this year. She took care of her and her sisters when they were little, and she's like family to them now. And she like wanted me to meet this woman. Her name's Leslie Braxick. She runs a company called My Next Season. She's the co-founder. And a very, very successful woman, multiple degrees in psychology and business, and very, very well connected. Basically, her company transitions like high profile, usually tends to be high profile, like people in upper level businesses into retirement, right? So she's like taking them and coaching them into retirement. And so, that's somebody who, and she's talked to me before very, very like directly about like, here's like A team, B team, we're going to get you like talking to these people. And then it's like, so people kind of talk to me like, oh yeah, it's going to happen, right? I'm going to help you. I'm going to make this happen. And it just goes, yeah. And it just falls off. Right. And I'm like, okay, but like,
because you're not following up.
I am following up. I was following up for quite a while.
That's on them.
Yeah,
it's not for you right now. That's my feeling. Go on though.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's as I feel like. So yeah, I guess if it's not on me, I would say maybe the part that is on me is like, okay, am I making the right moves because these are very type A type people, and it's like, okay, am I showing them enough? Am I doing enough for them? That's like evidence to them.
I think if you're thinking about that, you are already doing enough and offering enough.
Okay.
But,
are you?
but maybe not. Like maybe one thing that Greg helped me with was clarity. And they might be wondering what exactly does he want? Like, do they
Or
have
need?
a,
What do you
yeah,
need?
like really specific, getting super clear about your vision, your goal, and then like let's just say the 5 steps that will get you to that goal, and like write those 5
Yeah.
steps down and be able to clearly say to them,
Mhm.
these are the 5 steps I'm working on. Do you have any ideas?
Mhm.
Do you have like getting really, 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 really hyper specific?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I
'cause
was going to
go
ask
ahead.
you, Major, exactly that
Yeah.
question is what Laura said.
Yep.
What are you exactly offering to them? Is it a commission work or is that patronage to your project? You know, what
Yeah,
exactly
it was
is what you're offering?
I was trying to communicate like, okay, look, I'd be really happy to work with some people who are passionate about the kind of work that I do and are, people who can help, patronage wise. Because I feel like we've kind of discussed this before, being in the area that I'm in right now, I can't, especially we're talking about the US economy, is like, I can't, really afford on my own right now to be in an area where I can be around these big groups of like-minded people. Like all the people who do what I do are pretty much in, New York, Los Angeles, there's plenty of cities in Europe, that they're in, but um, that move is like really hard for me right now. And I'm like, okay, look, if you believe in what I do and here's the plan, and I feel like maybe this is where I haven't been more clear and upfront because I'm kind of like, I don't want to be perceived as rude, just like asking for this kind of, I guess it feels like a handout to me. And I'm like, I'm a little averse to that for some reason. And um,
Why aren't you okay, so I agree with everything that everyone has said, and I'm just going to I'm going to kind of add on to that,
Mhm.
not kind of contradict any of that. Instead of just asking people for support, why aren't you asking them to introduce you to collectors?
that's a good question. She has offered to introduce me to influential people per se, but not like, I don't think she knows collectors as well. There's one friend of hers who's a gallerist in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
who there was maybe an opportunity with, but that also kind of fell off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
I'm in the smack dab middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. So you're not that far from Pittsburgh.
No,
Pittsburgh is like an
it's like
opportunity
four
it's a
hours,
great
3 or 4.
opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
are you closer to like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm definitely closer to Philadelphia. It's like 2.5
Pittsburgh.
hours from here, and Pittsburgh is
Okay.
probably about 4.
Okay. Um, that's good to know. You're like, you're East Coast. So you're not, I mean,
Yeah.
because Laura, you really struggle with where you're located, I know as well, and that isolation. And that's something that you and Major can probably, I mean, Anna, not like you're also in a bustling place either. But I mean, I think that's really hard. I think that being even more specific about like, what does your art career need right now? It's like, I mean, everyone needs collectors, right? Everyone needs the money,
Mhm.
but it's like, is it visibility in terms of, is it lines on a CV? I mean, are there places even in your, if this person, my next season, Leslie, knows, let's say someone in real estate who would have access to like empty commercial spaces where you could like go and like put up your own show that you just curate for
Yeah.
yourself. Like that's figuring out some like alternative asks that are like a little bit outside the box can be very helpful too, because the very specific ask of like, do you know, like, it's like me, right? It's very hard to kind of say to a friend or to someone I know, like, do you know anyone who could donate money to my nonprofit?
Yeah.
It's like you can't kind of do that, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so, yes, that first ask to kind of bring people down the sales funnel is like, do you know anyone who likes art?
Mhm.
I think another thing to do is say, is there anyone who might be interested in visiting my studio? Trying to get them to invite people to visit your studio is probably like that I found is probably the best play. Like, see if anyone wants to just come and visit. The studio visit, people buy things at studio visits. People want to know about your process. You can even like put on your Instagram, like open for studio visits, like make an appointment, like set up a Calendly link, you know, and just get people to just start like making that part of what you do. People are so shy. They don't think that this is something that they can do. They're like, they don't even want to go in at like these big studio buildings. They're like afraid to go through the little doorway, to like walk through it. They're like, is it okay if I come in? And like the door's open.
Yeah.
And it's like first Friday and people are like, is it all right? Like
Yeah.
the artist is going to like yell at them or something.
I also
And-
think private parties, private cocktail
Mhm.
parties or private teas, and you just let them see how fun you are, how interesting you
Yes.
are, and pretty soon they're hanging around you. I'm courting somebody right now too who's going to help me donate sculpture to me. He's already going to donate some money to my nonprofit, but I'm not like all of a sudden, hey, can you do this? I'm like seeing him, inviting him to things, and
Yes.
he's not the most brilliant guy, but I like him, you know, and I'm incorporating him into my little social scene. And, you know, I never go anywhere without baking a bag of cookie, you know, that's my thing. But it's like a courting. It's a slow courting that you have to do to these people.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're really building a relationship. Say the first thing you said again, because it made me think of something, Anna, you were saying, private parties. Ask this person to host, see if she wants to invite some people herself. Would you, Leslie, like to bring a few people by for a studio visit? Like start with that. Like bring some of your friends by. I'll have a bottle of wine,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And even see if it's a place that she wants to, do something for her clients, like making it good for both of you. Then also find out if some of them are involved with nonprofit auctions. So the other thing is start donating things to auctions. If there's the local art school, did you go to art school or no?
I did. I went to Laguna College of Art and Design.
Okay. So if they do a yearly like gala or a yearly sale, like make sure you're on their alumni list and then consider if you want to start donating back a piece. Usually some of these, it's like you're not even donating it back. You're actually just submitting it. And then you can decide if you want your 50% or not. So you're just like selling it essentially. And like, so it's just like you're selling it, or you can decide if you want to donate it, but you're getting in front of those eyeballs every single year.
Mhm.
And you can do that, like go get on the SMFA, and this goes for all of you, like as long as you're willing to like either ship it or whatever, like Mass Art does this. They have an auction every single year. They don't care if you went to Mass Art. You can be part of that. And they are looking for new and interesting stuff to sell because I'm on the auction committee and I know. All right.
So it just mass art donation. Sorry to cut in.
I have no idea. I don't know the website, but they're going to start like canvassing for donations like in about September for April. And you can decide like if you want to get your money, if you want your sale or not. The only thing is that you have to be comfortable with whatever like the reserve is and the value. And they cannot be the only ones who do that. The School of Museum of Fine Arts does a sale that's only for their students. And so that's the thing, is like figuring out like what are some smart, you don't want to just like start giving away your work, but it's like give selectively where there are probably people who are your audience.
Your fish.
And so, so like Major, you have work. So actually, do you see the arm that's here?
Mhm.
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. It was from a number that surprised me. So this arm is actually much more indicative of Ibrahim Ali Salam's style. He is classical draftsman and like can do beautiful work that is just is very figurative. I think I don't have any of this work like right in front of me. And so I'm trying to think like him finding, it's hard to find a market for that. But he does. But I would say that figuring out like where that market is and then kind of like what city or what area, like is it more conservative? Is it up towards Boston? Boston tends to be quite conservative, but doesn't have a lot of like clients, you know, it doesn't have a lot of buyers.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely has some people in Philly, and Philly is like really, my cousin is down there. And we were talking about the art program there is really trying to like shore everything up. And so it's definitely a place to like keep your eye on what they're doing, because a lot of successful artists who have come from there are now coming back and looking to see how to keep people there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, if you'd like to move to somebody else real quick, I know you have to go soon, but I have one piece that I've been trying to get rid of, like either sell it, and that might be something nice. I did it just to like, progress. I'd love to show you really quick, and then I'd love to hear if that'd be maybe something good to try to put in one of these. It's framed and everything. Would that be all right?
I'm sure pull it up as someone else kind of,
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
talks.
have it on here, but I'll go grab it really
Oh
quick.
yeah, go grab it. Go grab it.
I would use the opportunity to ask if Christine has more time to, maybe do a video together. And I was
Can you guys
thinking,
hold on a second? I got to grab this call.
Yeah.
Okay.
and also Anna and Tai, actually, I want to
Mhm.
maybe do a collab, like kind of video on the subject of applying for art grants or like public funds, because Christine, Anna, and Tai can talk about different aspects. You have the aspect of local, you have the aspect of nonprofit in different areas, and international. As an artist, as an organization, as a gallery, I think it's also interesting collab aspect.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm applying for. I'm on a committee that we're applying for a Levitt music grant, and it doesn't have anything to do with visual art, but it's a huge, important grant. And it's a
Yeah.
private corporation in the United States that gives free music concerts.
Yeah.
And just me being on that grant committee and having to go in front of the politicians and all the different places that I'm doing, it's helpful to my career, my art career. Even though it's a music grant and I don't have anything to do with music, I'm helping with that grant. So yeah, I think grants, the private grants now are where to go, not government.
I want to say something. Number one, I'm interested in collaborations with on the video that you just talked about, Mo. So hook me in. Number two, Christine, I'm also would love to learn more about the mass art donation that you were just talking about. I definitely have a few pieces that I've already framed and everything. So I'll reach out to you on the Instagram.
Sounds good. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Cool. I'm also going to try to grab the link for that. That was UPS calling me. That could not wait. That had to call me 2 times in a row.
Oh,
That's a very responsible UPS delivery man. Usually
They're
they just
packing.
Usually they just call you once and chuck your thing in front of the door and leave.
No, it's because I need to go there and like pay because they're
Oh.
packing something, shipping something.
Oh, okay, that's why.
before we move away from this topic, I wanted to share something with you. I'm at a conference that is related to my husband's financial business, and I got to go to the speaker, and he provided a link to this YouTube video that he has, and I've already watched it and taken notes because it reminds me so much of everything that we've talked about today. His name is, y'all might know about him already, but his name is Jesse Itzler. Do y'all know Jesse Itzler? Let's see, I'll type it up in the notes in a second. But he has this YouTube video that's his top 15 tips for building business relationships. And it really reminds me of what we're talking about, like how to connect with people, how to clarify what it is that you're needing. And he has such specific tips on this 15 that it feels doable, like even for an artist, or it really applies to this whole conversation. So I think I'll try to look up the link really quickly and add it to the notes, or send it to Greg and Mo, so that we can
Thank
all
you.
see it. I think y'all would really love it.
Where are the notes? How do we access that?
I don't know.
Chat with everyone. Hold on. I got
Yeah.
it.
Major, you can show your
Yeah.
bottom
Major, go
right.
ahead.
So it's an 11 by 14 I did like when I
Okay.
just moved back home to Pennsylvania, and it's a nude figurative piece, so I know that's usually pretty niche for people.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's a master study, so that's why I'm more willing to like part with it, especially right now for something like that. Whether it realizes the price or not, because it's at least I think demonstrates what I'm capable of, and so
It's hard to really get a read on it. It's so well done that it almost looks like a print. You're clearly very it's very impressive. How much do you sell your work for?
this one I have tried to sell it from anywhere from like 1,200 to 1,800. It's one of like the more I put more work into, but yeah, so it can be anywhere usually from like I kind of do like $1 per square inch amount type deal. So it's like right now it's like $5 per square inch usually.
I feel like that 12 by 18 times 5. I don't think that would matches up to what you
Yeah,
just
I know.
all.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that's different than that. This is just what I've tried to sell it for before. So that's like the
No, I
five.
feel like that's more aligned. I mean, it depends on where you are in your career. It's also about your comps, right? And what you've been able to sell in the past. So, I mean, I think the work is solid. It's always a question of whether, like, if something like that isn't accepted, it's not a question of like your technical skill. It's a question of like, does the auction think it will sell?
Mhm.
I think that one of the things that's challenging is taking skills like you have to create work that's like essentially really classical like that, and finding a market for it, and or just seeing where that will take you.
Mhm.
The question is like I think like, who are you making this work for?
Okay. Mostly for me, but I also try to think about now. I'm I'm in a modern context, right? And so I'm not trying to fall into like making things that look old. I want to use all those skills that come from those eras and like do new things. So like
Okay.
right now I'm working on things that are more in line with that. So hopefully they're more palatable to like a contemporary audience.
Like PTL.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of like Titus Kapar as well,
Mm.
and how he's able to take what feels like very classical style of painting, but really innovate almost in like the treatment of, both his work or the canvas.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you were asking me a question or just in
No,
relation.
I mean, you
Okay.
can react to that, but I mean, I think that like it's a question of like your aspirations and also people want. I mean, because the thing is like, if you're talking about like pushing the medium forward, I mean, if you're honoring the past and honoring what has happened, and honoring like your skill set, like you are doing a great job. Like you clearly have a very high level of skill. If you're trying to kind of push forward what is possible within the medium, I think there are ways in which you can push what you're doing. Based on what I saw from this little tiny picture of what looked like a traditional male nude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if I got up all close and saw that, like, oh no, it was this, or it was
Nice.
actually a trans person, or it was
No,
this
it
or
is
that.
actually a traditional male nude with every genitalia intact.
If I can add so all the reaching aspect is very important, but when you get people, if you don't have a basket to keep them, you lose them, and the basket is showing the consistency of your work and the amount, like in weight. The more work you have, the better it is. Right now on your Instagram, I've been digging, I can see maybe 5 paintings, and your website is
Calendly.
a calendar
Yeah.
for giving courses. So if you do the running and you do the to get some leads and having contacts, organizing parties, and your Instagram is not made to keep them, because then they will remember you at their home, and then they will look on Instagram or your website, and if it's not ready, you lose more than half of them.
Like an incubated egg, you want to keep it always
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah, you may need to do some credibility building first
Yeah.
online before you kind of like
Yeah.
push to have people, because let's say they want to invite someone and they say, hey, I'm going to go visit this artist, right? And they say, oh, who is it? And then they go to like your website or your, Instagram, and there's not really anything there that suggests that you're an artist who works in a particular style or whatever, then yeah, it's not going to encourage. Like a few extra minutes before I'm the person who has to make this phone call, and so this person will survive. But what I would say is, remember, for all of you, that you can, in as many styles as you want, push things, like experiment. It's just about what you're putting forward to the public is the question, right? So like Major, you can like make all sorts of crazy things that feel completely out of character, and then just be 100% that classical, like, this is what I do. I am making work that feels like what you'd see in the Louvre, and that's what people want, because there's a style of house that goes in. There's a very traditional person who likes that work, and I sell it in this type of space. I have found furniture stores that like it. That could be a really solid place to look as well, potentially. But behind the scenes, you're making like abstract mixed media, off the stretcher pieces. It's just about like, or pottery, but so like there are no rules in terms of what you can make. It's just about having like a persona that feels cohesive, so people don't have like whiplash.
Yeah.
And it can evolve, right? Picasso evolved a ton, but it's kind of creating that like cohesive narrative for yourself as you go. Publicly. Your narrative for yourself can be schizophrenic. Like you can be doing 10 different things at once. That's how I am. I don't know. I'm always doing like 100 different things. I just think you can't tell everyone about them.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Can I add something? So I want to add on to the comments that Christine and Anna and Laura have already been giving. Personally, obviously, I don't have as much experience as they do, so I'm trying to be aware of that. But Major, I just look at your work on Instagram, and I think you are more on the classical side. And I since you're in East Coast, I know that I know that usually when we talk about contemporary modern art, we usually are more like innovative and abstract, whatever. But I do think that there is a market for more classical stuff. And I, from my short period of time in the art world, I've known that there is a school in New York that trains people classically, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure you might be more aware of that. But I was wondering if and I also I don't know your finance, but I was wondering like if your finance allows, like, would it be possible to go take a class or teach a class there? And the reason for that is just to get into the circle in New York for classical art. either by teaching
Yeah.
or by taking a class. Like you are immediately in a bunch of people that are interested in that subject matter, and like develop some friendship with. If you're learning from them, develop friendships from those classmates, and you never know, like, because
Yeah.
someone might be putting together a show in New York, and it's quite easy for you to go from Pennsylvania to New York and just drive over there 10 hours and whatever.
So are you thinking of Grand Central
I
Atelier
can't. I think so. I can't remember the name, but
or
I've
Art
definitely
Students
seen
League?
something
There are a couple of
like
places.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
last summer I went to Art Students League
Hmm.
every Monday and Tuesday for a month to study with a guy named Frank Porcu, and he kind of like finally started to talk to me in a way like I had always been
Hmm.
looking for, and none of my teachers could really satisfy me when they were like at
Yeah.
LCAD.
Yeah.
So really, like if I were able to swing it and just even like do a year and just study with him every day, right, and be a TA for him or something like that, that would be an ideal next move. But like it's just like I've been talking to, I have friends who live there. I know I have family and things, and it's just like for me, like financially right now, it's like that's a really tough swing, because if I were to be able to make that work, it's like I'm gonna be like working another job all day. And I'm like, then it would probably be something that carried me like way past like even his class times. So there's like a lot of like New York is like really hard for me to
I,
swing
I, I
personally,
I
but
hear you on that because I have the same personal struggle. Like I've been thinking about moving back to Hong Kong because Hong Kong has the second largest art market in the entire world.
yeah,
And but it's just really, really expensive. And
yeah,
like the housing is more expensive than New York, if you can believe it or not.
like yeah, I can, yeah,
And I mean the living cost is not going to be as much as the US, but like definitely so I've been like thinking about ways to like reach out and that. But I really think like for you it's more how long does it take you to drive up to New York from where you
but
are?
about 2.5
10?
hours.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
That's not that far. I
No,
thought it was
no,
like 10 hours. So if you,
yeah,
I think if I were you, like, reach out to the guy and say like, hey, can I be your TA? And then just drive up there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
not a flight apart. Yeah.
yeah, I was doing that, and I was actually staying with a family friend in New Jersey, and then taking the train in.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was for me taking his class. So I mean, yeah, I think I'd probably have to go there personally. I've emailed him like a million times. He's
Hmm.
literally like, you plucked him out of the Renaissance and put him now. He cannot
Could,
stand anything technology. So I'm like trying to like
could,
write letters to him.
could you like go up to New York for a weekend and be like, hey, dude, like, want to get a drink or something like that? It's,
Yeah, yeah, I
you
for
know,
sure could.
one one
I've
thing
been. Go
one
ahead,
thing
yeah.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but one thing I find really easy, and this is kind of like a gender thing, is that with guys, like, hey dude, what's up? Let's go get a beer,
Yeah.
and then friendship form. Like it's not so easy between women and men because as an Asian woman, like you have to have more consideration. Like, is that guy married? If he's married, I don't want to be like near that. So there's all kind of consideration like that. But for a dude, it's like it's easy or
Yeah, recently
yeah.
I have the contact of one of the guys who, I'm not sure if he still is his TA, but while I was taking the class he was. And I'm just gonna say, hey, can I'm actually planning on it this week. Um, can I write you a letter, send it to you to give to him? Because like
Hmm.
I can't send it to the Art Students League because they like have a policy on this that they won't give it to him. They'll just like either send it back or throw it away. But maybe if I could give it to that guy, he would like give it to him, because like I mean, he has an email and everything. He won't answer me back on any of that stuff. It's just he has like no patience for technology. He like literally hates it. And just from talking to him, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is like a deep seated thing in you. I'm not getting past this. So
Yeah.
um,
So I think having a drink, it sounds like a guy that he's more, you can connect with him more over drinks and like email. So I would definitely go up there more often and I know it's financially it's a strain because I'm on the same page with you, but like just grabbing a beer or even consider like driving back and forth within the same day so you don't have to like pay for a hotel or even like sleeping on a friend's sofa. That's doable. You guys American, you can drive 10
yeah,
hours
yeah,
a
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how much you guys could drive.
How much you guys can drive.
Yeah, and
there's
I
But I also want to add one more thing, Major. It's
yeah.
because this is something that I noticed. So I was at a curator show yesterday, and she was already a acquaintance. I wouldn't say a friend of mine before I came back into the art world. Like she was the girlfriend of the son of my friend. Like very very far. But at the beginning, when I first came back into the art world, like she wouldn't even look at my stuff. Like she didn't see me as anything, and like, you can so tell because she's a bit of a drama queen personality. Oh shit, this is recorded. Can we cut this off?
Yeah,
Can we cut this off, please? Please. I don't want this to
Nobody
be
is
out there. Yeah.
watching.
it's okay.
Okay. So she's a bit of a drama queen personality, and I knew that she wouldn't even see me as anything at the beginning. But consistency really pays off because I've been, talking to her mother-in-law, future mother-in-law about my art career, which I know her mother-in-law is talking to her about it. So she knows that I've been on this thing for X amount of years. And also, I bumped into her in openings and I go to her shows. And whenever she had a talk, I tried to show up and just be like as supportive as possible. And I mean, obviously I would love for her to show me at a show, but like I'm just like kind of showing up and just trying to make sure that I have a normal friendship with her before anything. I think that kind of like consistency and like, just try to connect with people without, and I know that you're doing that, so I'm not saying that you need to do
Yeah,
this.
no.
Like, yeah. So like, connecting with people without like any, oh, can she give me anything? Can you give me anything? Really, really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And just like what you're saying too, is I think, I'm still living with my parents, I'm trying to make a move out of here, but, and so like, I've always had like a real close relationship with my parents, and it's hard because like, they're really supportive, but they don't always get like when I say something, like even like when I went and did and studied with him, my dad's like, I think it was good for you that you went and did that, but I don't think you needed to go do that. I'm like, I've been doing this for years. It's like I kind of have an idea of like where I want to put my trajectory and what I feel like I still need. And I think what's really important about what kind of you all have observed on like my social media and stuff like that is that sort of erratic style sort of thing. And I don't really just want to hunt a style, but I want, and this is what I think Frank can help me with, is I want to be able to get enough time with him to where he can give me some of the last tools that I need to develop consistency in my work, right? Because I feel like whenever I sit down to do a new painting, I don't have a method that I'm working with yet. And then it's just all these different things that I learned are pulling me in different directions. And so I'm trying to figure out like, okay, who has some knowledge or advice who can help me practically to kind of break that kind of curse and like go into some more solid work. So
I would recommend you to do a fundraising for a personal project with a clear deadline and 1 foot in the door. To be more particular, let's imagine you got accepted by this guy's master degree program in whatever university, Yale. I don't know. There's just one guy who is teaching at Yale, imagine, and you got into their MFA program, but you can't pay for the tuition. So you do a personal fundraise and you say, I already got the admission letter. All I needed is 10,000 euro from each of you who is in, right? And then I just say that usually there needs to be a proof that the project is feasible. Therefore, you need to have the acceptance letter and you need a clear deadline and clear goal. The goal is to get a degree and be a great artist. And the deadline is September next year, you're going to study there. Just to say, then people are unlikely to do like a fall off. Like we said in the beginning, they were enthusiastic. They were like, oh, let's do it. And then like with time, they're going away. So don't give them the opportunity to slip away. Offer them one project with a clear deadline, clear amount to contribute.
You told it. And you did that.
I did that twice. One for my very expensive MBA. So it's a Master in Business Administration from World Top 10 private university. And it was very expensive, like $65,000. And I wrote it among family and friends and the house. And we bought a 3-floor building.
Yeah.
We did it with like colleagues, really. Like colleagues.
Yeah.
They barely know me.
Yeah, and gives you a lot of pressure because you borrow money and sometimes they give and then you are responsible.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that'll really help me to be able to. I'd like to reach out to this woman, Leslie, again, because I think it's even just something like that, being like, this is really what I know I need, where I think I should be headed right now. And so that could be something that works out for me if she kind of just understands the trajectory, and what the needs are. So
You need to show something visible, like an admission letter or something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they cannot know, because they don't know art, they don't know what you need in art, so they can't like tell you where you go. You have to tell them
Right.
where you want to go, and you need their help to get
Right.
there.
Yeah, to come back to the grants subject, there is a pending. Anna, you wrote something before. You remember I was asking for the article, so you have already written something. So I kept it, and then we can use it. So
Yeah.
now I'm working also with Esra. I don't know why she disappeared, and I propose also to Tai about anthology articles. So the idea is it could be interesting for anybody here, everybody here. The idea is to have a subject that so it's the category of artist or the category of a project you are doing. And for Esra, it was a textile artist. And now we are working together on digging, on listing all the artists, working on the provenance, the authenticity, the everything, and fact checking using the AI to work on the subject, but then fact checking everything the AI is telling, and then adding yourself in the list. So it's a lot of humility to do that, because you see there are big fishes in the pond, and you put yourself in it, and you learn also because every time, for example, with Esra, she's working on authenticity, but then I'm the bad guy, like I'm working on the provenance. So the first textile artist is I forgot her name, but from someone who went to Bauhaus, and she was forced to do textile art because she was a woman in 1920. She couldn't be painter or architect, so she was forced into textile art. But then she revolutionized textile art, and she couldn't do that if she was not the daughter of a family owning the biggest publishing company in Europe. So Esra was seeing the surface, and I'm digging that what is not, it's not random that she could do that. Of course, she had constraints, but that way you can learn that there's a glass ceiling. Meeting people in New York, for example, it's good, but there's a moment you will be filtered if you don't have the contacts and all that. So I'm mixing a bit everything.
Yeah, the textile art with very deep pockets.
Tai, I proposed you about, it was the
Diasporic.
diasporic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's there, it's waiting. There's no hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And don't feel obligated.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, if you want to do it, we can do it, and then we publish on their private gallery. And then the idea is like for the residencies, the list of residencies with Anna, and that's why I was asking Christine also to add the residencies. But it can be any kind of category you think you are in. Like I don't know, the post-traditional artist, I don't know how would you be calling yourself, and finding new category is very important, because like biologists for animals, collectors are categorizing, and they collect in a category or two, not 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So finding your category is very important.
I think what Greg said about categorization is really true for curation too. Like I noticed a lot of curator things and that kind of fashion.
Art history studies fashion.
Yeah.
That's also a good practice to define your art.
Hmm.
You want to put your art in a box. Which box are you going to put it in?
It's also incredibly similar to marketing. Like, I think like as artists, we tend to think, oh, our art is all everything. Like we don't want to be bonded by anything. That's like too cliche. But then when you actually think about like in marketing terms, it's like your target audience and what they look for, then you have to put into buckets
Yeah.
for them to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I think it's important as artists that when you're doing your art, you're like, "Ah, I don't give a F about whatever, and you just like do whatever. But then when you're talking to someone else, your potential collector or your or even marketing or your curator, it's kind of like a marketer, right? Then you have to talk in the language of like categorizations, what they actually care about, what even they would curate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm really excited to make this video on applying for art grants. It can be public, can be private, can be a mix and combination. And what I really liked what Christine said, the grants are now further and fewer between. And it's like fewer and further between. Yeah, sorry, the other way around. But that's exactly how people feel in Europe as well. And even Greg was worried that next year maybe the European Union falls apart and we don't have Europe. And
Not worrying. It can happen.
it can happen. I mean, it's.
Wow.
I mean, everything can go kaput, and things can change a lot. And grants are not always there, and it's very competitive. And that's why the ones who had grants before want to keep it. The ones who never had want a chance. And this is a subject quite relevant in the art world today. So yeah.
Is that due primarily to the divisiveness with Israel, or just a lot of
No,
different things?
It's just the major economy. It's
No,
very bad.
it's resources.
Yeah,
Okay.
because since 2009, the peak oil, every day we live ahead of us is going to be in resource worse than the day we lived before. So it's just like that.
The economy is an abstract thing, not related to any
Physical resources.
yeah, in the West, because we are Christian immaterialist, idealist, and then the reality is coming back, but then the economy is not related to anything of that since Bretton Woods. So since the US de-indexed the dollar
With
before it was linked with gold.
Gold.
So there was a link, and the BRICS very related, very linked, and China linked their money with gold. So the problem about the art market and the economists, and I mean all of them, they are really like in the clouds, and they are not really very pragmatic economists. It's more the finance. There is no real economy, and that's the problem, because it's okay for the US, because if your economy is going down, you still have resources. The Asia and Africa and South America, if it's going down, the economy, there are still resources. There is no resources in Europe because we are old continent. We took them all a long time ago. So the Europe is the next cake in the future for me. And as an artist, it's more like so what I was telling to Charlotte. If you have a link with Asia, if you have a language, think and be interested not about what the I don't know, the expert in art market they are telling, because these people, they are not even as good as the economists, and most of the economists are wrong. They didn't. 90% of economists, they didn't predict 2008, the crisis. So be interested in what is happening in Asia with the BRICS, with the banking system, and with and take opportunity, because now the art world is not unified anymore. So it's good to be if you have more than one language, and be able to move and to make contact, go around, because
There is the balkanization of internet. Like in China, you have a complete isolated internet than the rest of the world. You can't watch YouTube, you can't use Zoom, you can't go on Facebook, and it's going to be the same of balkanization of everything, of art market as well, maybe.
Yeah, it is going on.
Very regionalized.
But that's good, because there's not one before, not just right now, for now, the contemporary art. Even if you have a top artist in Italy, the top artist, Italian artist in a gallery in Italy, is living in New York. All the top artists are living in New York. It's not working for me. I mean, I'm French. I love Americans, but it's a mafia for me. So it's an American mafia, the art world. So it's good that it's splitting up. So it's more interesting. But be interested as American, if you have contact internationally, be interested in somewhere else. It can be very good in the future.
Yeah.
Don't keep your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
I have to go. Thanks, you guys.
Bye, Anna. Bye, Anna. It's nice to see you, Anna.
Yeah.
And make sure you should see the website of Tai. It's a model for me. It's a reference of the progress. You look at her Instagram, she's very humble, but you look at her Instagram and her website, it's per year. There's the progress, there's the consistency, the progress per year, and this is very humble to put per year. But then you see the work, and then people can verify. And right now, I saw, Tai, you put a secondary Instagram account, personal, and then your primary account that is just your work. And there's maybe one thing missing, but this is just about taste, is you talk a lot about process, slow process. And there's no, for me, if there's slow process, there should be videos, but not the videos you are making, not the going slow on the finished painting, but
time-lapse.
Time-lapse. Okay.
Or the one paint stop, the
Stop motion.
Yeah, no, not stop motion. Is you paint, you stop, you paint, you stop. Every 5 minutes, you paint again, you stop, and then
you
it
can.
shows the process.
I would call it sampling. It's kind of sampling. You do 5 seconds every 10 minutes.
Is that a video of me painting, or the progress of
Your process?
You with the hand, but not with your face.
Okay, I am with the hand. Okay.
Because you have
that is very
process. It has to have your hand, otherwise it doesn't really.
But this is taste, because if you are going too much that way, maybe some galleries in Hong Kong, they wouldn't like it, because it's too much marketing. So it's already good that you are focusing really on the texture, the quality of the photo, and the consistency of your work. And if I am a potential collector, I see the progress. There's a moment you went like, but then no, you really took, because a lot of work, repeating, maybe bored and all of that, you met all of that like Olympic training for Olympics, and now you found your direction. I mean, and this is something that can be used as a model, because you are not born, you are not post-rationalized by art critics. So you're not born with people backing you. So like you, Major, and like you, Laura, your work is a good model, and your communication style is a good model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
And I just wanted to say too,
Good job.
I next week I'll be starting on Thursdays. From you know, here in Europe it's probably very late, but from 6 to 9, starting every Thursday now, it'll be me just like showing up, doing that 3-hour video, and I'll be painting
That's
and
good.
working through process. And is it Taiyi? I'm sorry, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You know, I would really love to, and also you, Laura, if anybody would ever like to show up in future videos, if you see them, you're like, oh, these are interesting. I would really love to try and stimulate conversation on there, so that people who show up to watch the video, they can see different people like kind of come in and be a part of the video, and we can have actual, you know, conversation on craft, art market, you know, really anything. Right. And so I think that would just make it more interesting for future viewers, and hopefully there could be eventual crossovers and things like that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool,
And
yeah,
thank you for the kind word, Greg.
Are you gonna edit the video and then put it on YouTube, or is live streaming once it's finished, it stays?
Yeah, it's gonna be a live stream, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to edit it afterwards, and then it's gonna go to Patreon. So if you want to like continue like watching and like learning from the video, then it's like there's gonna be membership tiers that people can join.
Yes, but I think again, conversion, if maybe 100 people subscribe to your channel, maybe one want to join, or maybe even normally it's less than 1%, let's say. So you need to have a good quantity. I would say you need to have a guaranteed quantity traffic.
Yeah, work on your acquisition before the
Yeah.
conversion, I think.
Yeah, first just get people to pass in front of your channel and then lure them into your storefront. But you need to have to create that synergy to have the traffic first.
Okay.
I think.
But how many followers do you already have?
What's on my Instagram is only like a couple hundred.
I mean YouTube, because you said you want to do it in YouTube.
I want to do it on both if I could
Right.
stream them on both, but yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have I don't have the YouTube. I have the YouTube channel, but this is going to be the first one. So
You have two mobiles, or you use two devices to live stream, or
there are apps that can split them between the
yeah.
two things. So I'm looking at using that, but I'm just going to start with YouTube and then try to see if that's worth it to do the split. Because it might be just worth it for me to, you know, go on TikTok and have just little short videos that bring people in.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a consultant on social media, and he's helping me make sense of a lot of this stuff. So that's his suggestion, to put those small videos out there and say, hey, you know, these videos happen every Thursday. Come join, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can totally do it. There's no cost. You have a phone, you practice, you have time. You can totally do it. And what is your goal? You want to be able to support yourself through Patreon, or?
Yeah, that'd be great. I have a goal I'd like to get to, which I mean, it's a pretty, at least in my mind, a lofty one, of at least doing like $1,000 a week at some point, which will eventually be further on in the future. I have like
mean on Patreon, or you mean with ads money, or with global?
With all of it combined. So I'm trying to get.
Okay. But
as
then
much
if
as I
you want all of them combined, you need to make the videos public on YouTube to be able to get ads money, because you need 4,000
You go.
hours. You need 4,000 hours.
It's nice meeting you.
Oh, nice meeting. Laura, I would love to see the notes that you put down from your husband's conference, I think you said.
I put them. Yeah, I put them
I
in the
left
chat.
Jess Itzler's 15 tip on business relation. If you search.
Oh, okay, the
You-
video.
you
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the notes, the Google Meet notes.
It's the notes. It's the notes on the video, like the note that you put down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you-
Bottom right, you have the notes.
I added a link that takes you directly to the video
the
that I
video?
was talking about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I got the
Okay.
video. All right. Sorry to interrupt the discussion. All right.
Oh yeah, it's great meeting you.
See ya. Great meeting you too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I need to hang up also. Thank you so much.
All right, yeah,
Sorry,
great
we-
seeing you.
we
It was
couldn't-
good seeing you all. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
How do you
Um,
the recording?
cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. And
Ah,
the last thing you were saying, Tumo, was just about so like a video needs to stay up to get like ad dollars
You
eventually, right?
need
For views
1,000
and-
subs and 4,000 publicly
Mhm.
watched hours to be able to have hours for people to watch you.
Mhm.
You need to have videos of hours
Yeah.
of videos. So
Yeah.
you need all of that to keep on your channel if you want ads revenue.
So yeah, my other thought was, doing it where when I'm editing the video, so that original video, raw video can stay up, but then doing where maybe I add extra commentary over, or I have other conversations and things when I'm editing the video, and people get a more in-depth look at what was going on with that particular painting session or something like that. Just whatever I can do, or even having links to or tiers on Patreon where it's like, I'll give you critiques, 30-minute critiques on work if you do a certain thing, but that's all obviously eventually when I get more viewership.
Yeah, I would say when you qualify for ads partnership of YouTube, which is usually anything between 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. For me personally, it's between 6 and 12 months when you do something like art subjects. And depending on how catchy you make it, if you paint beautiful girls, female nudes, maybe you get more than male nudes. I'm just saying, like, out of my,
Right.
just creating from, just stick my finger and goes, maybe. So I would say if you do it fast, it's slightly under 6 months. It's not like you can do it in 2, no way. Because
Yeah.
you need 4,000 watch hours, and you need to
Mhm.
create those many hours for people to actually be able to watch it.
Mhm.
And then 1,000 sub. So once you receive the email to say you qualify, you can apply for YouTube partner, that is the moment you need to open the Patreon, not before. That's my opinion. Because if you don't have enough synergy created, the traffic created, you cannot convert. You have to acquire and then convert.
And that would also help because then it gives me time to then edit all the video that's being taken. At that point, then there's actually something on there already for people to be, immediately kind of like hooked by. They can continue to watch that stuff.
I would say you should make maybe once a week or once a month, or I don't know how many, but exclusive for Patreon or for membership, and you can also activate YouTube membership. But to activate YouTube membership, you need to be invited. You cannot just open. You need to have, like, let's say 10,000 sub, 1 year, and have after 1 year after being a partner of YouTube. So there is a qualification. And once you see that button, you can activate. And there's a new feature just launched a couple of months ago called education. So there's an educational player, and you can teach art and painting for school purpose. And if that is where you're going, you can also qualify for a special ads revenue from Google AdSense education or YouTube education, however you put it.
Okay,
This is
wonderful.
another route, but you need first to get the first paycheck from Google AdSense.
All right.
And that can take you a year. So
Get
regularity,
to it. Consistency, all that.
consistency,
Yeah.
and you'll
Right.
get there. You will.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's very great to talk to you guys both yesterday
no,
and
it's
today.
a nice talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Did you stop?
Just do it.